Okay, what I have here in front of me is the KLIM Blaze Pro W. This is a wireless mouse docking station combination, and just to go over what you actually receive, you get the mouse, you get the docking station, and you do get this cable here, which can be used with the docking station or directly with the mouse if you want to use the mouse as a wired mouse. Otherwise, you can use it with the docking station here and the RF frequency to connect the mouse to the docking station. The mouse also comes with Bluetooth capabilities. On the bottom here you can see that there is three switches here. One is for the RF frequencies, second one is to turn the mouse off, and the third one is for the Bluetooth. Now what this means is that you can actually use this with a couple of PCs, so I can use it with the connect it to the docking station in one PC, then I can have it set up as a Bluetooth mouse with a second PC. So it is possible to use this with two PCs. The problem is when you're using it as a Bluetooth mouse with another computer and another system, you'll lose the information that you get on the LCD display on the docking station. So you won't have any idea what the battery charge remaining is. Now this does use a sensor, and it does have a magnetized charging port here, which connects with the docking station as well. And lastly, as far as the mouse goes, just on the bottom side, I just want to point out that this button here is what controls the RGB. It also comes with a software that I'll talk about in a moment that you can use to customize your colors and so forth. But going around, it's got obviously the left and right buttons as well, and it's got this pretty nice wheel here. But this comes with a textured top here, which is pretty useful, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute as well. You also have the ability to switch your DPI through this button here. And then it's got your buttons on the left, and so on the left side you have both a front and back button, and I would characterize this mouse as a ambidextrous mouse because it's really designed evenly on both sides so that you can be either left or right-handed. In terms of measurements, it's about 4.84 inches in length. It's about 2.5 inches in width, and at its highest point here it's about 1.5 inches, just a little bit more than 1.5 inches in height. It weighs about 88 to 89 grams, so it's a pretty light mouse, and it's made of all plastic here. And despite what the listing says about some sort of coating on the buttons here, there's nothing that I can discern that's an obvious difference between the buttons and the rest of the body. It's a pretty smooth mouse in terms of the buttons. As you can see, there's no sort of applied coating here that's obvious, but nonetheless that's what they claim. But to me it just feels like it's just the continuation of the plastic that's on the rest of the top side of the mouse. On the front here you can see a USB Type-C port. As I said, this can be used as a wired mouse as well. And you can see that I have it with a little bit of RGB. This is actually a pure red color. It may not be obvious on my camera, but it is a pure red color. So I apologize for the camera doing the disservice to the RGB of this mouse. Now the one thing I would point out is very quickly here is that this side is pretty clean. On this side though, there's a bit of dark or black color here within the RGB lighting, so whatever's going on there, it's not consistent on both sides. Now the docking station is pretty handy, and it's what actually attracted me to this mouse. It can be used pretty effectively with the mouse, and it helps quite a bit in terms of latency. There's virtually no latency when you're pairing this with the docking station through the RF signal rather than the Bluetooth. It does have an LCD display here, which has got the battery remaining as well as the DPI. A couple of things I would point out, however. First, with respect to the RGB, there is no software to customize the RGB for the docking station. You have limited ability for customization. You just press this button and it'll change to various pulses and so forth. You can see a streak here as well, so you only get a limited amount. You can turn it off as well as for the mouse if you don't like the RGB at all. But I'll just turn it on like so, and we'll continue. Now the LCD display, let's talk a little bit about that. Now there's a little bit of quirks going on with respect to this, and what I mean by that is, just to give you an example, I was using this mouse. It went from 100% to 99% and then down to 95% over probably about an hour and a half. I then left my computer for about an hour or so, came back and found it back at 100%. And then just before making this video, it went back down to 95%, and then within probably about 5 minutes, it went down to 94, 93, 92, 91, and here we are sitting at 90. So all sorts of strange things happening with respect to the LCD display and the battery charge remaining. So something that obviously could be better and is not. So just something to keep in mind with respect to reliability of what you're seeing on the LCD display. Additionally, the listing has this as a up to 6,000 DPI mouse, but you can actually customize it so that you get the larger numbers here. You can see I have 8,000, and I apologize, it might be a little bit difficult to see, so let me try to get this a little closer. You can see it says 8,000 right now. So again, not too sure what's happening with respect to the display. Just so you know, if you go from 6,000 to 8,000, I can't really see any difference. So I don't know if this is just an error or not, but it's there and available on the LCD display. In fact, the LCD display can go up to 12,000, which you can set the mouse to in the software. Again, I can't comment on whether or not it's actually 12,000 or 8,000 because when you're using the mouse, it essentially looks the same. Now you can see it's gone down another percent since we began this video, and it's down to 89. So I'll just keep an eye on that to see if, without doing much, within a minute or two, we'll see if it goes down to 88, which would not bode well for the actual battery life if we're losing a percent every minute or two. But nonetheless, let's continue on with the review. The responsiveness of the mouse is actually really good. There's virtually no latency when it's used with the docking station, which is what I really like about it. It does a great job at, again, being able to maneuver within websites and so forth without much issue. As also the scroll wheel here does a very good job as well. The one thing I would just point out about the scroll wheel in terms of precision is if you're using this with a common, let's say, spreadsheet program, it does not necessarily move one line at a time. It'll move about 3 to 4. So each sort of rotation, a small rotation, from the wheel will move it about 3 to 4 lines, and so that's something to keep in mind. And just before we continue, here we go again with this. It's now down to 87%. So rapidly, using up the battery here, despite the fact that I've only been talking for a couple of minutes. So again, I don't know whether this is just something quirky going on with the LCD display or whether or not the battery is actually discharging at a very rapid rate. Excuse me. Now, of course, I do have a RGB on all the time, so that's going to be contributing to that as well. Now, in terms of the docking station mouse combination, the one thing that I was really hoping I would find from this was the ability of using this with one hand. So if I put it on the docking station, it fits on pretty well, and you can see it starts flashing, and I'll just move it over here. But when you go to take it off, oftentimes when I go to remove the mouse, because it's using a magnetic system, sometimes I end up lifting the docking station as well. So there you go. There's a perfect example. So I would really like to have seen this be a little bit better with respect to being able to remove the mouse with just one hand. So anyways, again, just to check in on our LCD display, it now says 95%, so I had the mouse on the charger for probably just a few seconds, and it charged quite a bit. Okay, before I wrap up this video, I just want to say a couple more things. Number one, the battery capacity of the mouse is 930 milliamps. What that translates to into actual real-world use for me is a couple of days worth of, about 3 days worth of use, about 6 to 8 hours a day with the RGB on all the time. So it's not a question of weeks, but a matter of days before I need to recharge it. Having said that, following my testing, I do normally put it on the charger or the docking station on a nightly basis, so it is being recharged on a nightly basis. In terms of performance on different surfaces, I've got a smooth desk here, and it works without a mouse pad. And it's very responsive. If you've got a smooth surface, you don't need a mouse pad in terms of my experience, and it's worked out really well. Lastly, when it comes to the software, what can you actually do with the software? Everything that you can do with the software is limited to the mouse, but you can do quite a bit in terms of RGB lighting, in terms of programming of buttons, in terms of setting macros and so forth. So really happy with the software itself. Just a bit disappointed that there's not much you can do with the docking station, but what you can do with the mouse has been done quite thoughtfully and works quite well. And then lastly, overall assessment of this mouse docking station pair, pretty good overall. Again, it's in a price point and a class which makes it a pretty good value. Unfortunately, I think there could be quite a bit done with the LCD display on the docking station, which could have been improved to make this better value, but the mouse itself is quite good, and the fact that you do have a docking station with a mouse, to me, despite the problems with the LCD display, it's still worth having it with respect to using the docking station to charge the battery on the mouse on a nightly basis. So for me, something I can look past in terms of the LCD display. It's not great, but what it allows with respect to nightly charging of the mouse is something that I appreciate and works well for me. So overall, pretty good pair, pretty good combination. Could be better. It's certainly not without its faults, but it does what it needs to do for me overall. So anyways, this has been a quick little review of this KLIM mouse docking station combination, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.
Bueno, pues este es el ratón inalámbrico de la marca KLIM. Yo tengo otros productos de esta marca, la verdad que me gusta mucho. Lo primero que me ha gustado es que es muy ergonómico, se coge muy bien, funciona muy bien. También me gusta mucho, aunque yo no voy a utilizar para gaming, me gustan mucho los botones de retroceso y de avance para lo que son las páginas web. Esto va genial porque te facilita mucho el hecho de no tener que andar moviendo el ratón. Y bueno, otra de las cosas que me ha gustado es que viene su base con su pantalla. La iluminación se puede regular aquí con este botón, con el cual vamos cambiando la iluminación. Y bueno, pues destacar que solo funciona la iluminación de la base si la tenemos puesto por 2,4. Si lo ponemos en Bluetooth no va. Y bueno, pues aquí la pantalla pues nos muestra el nivel de batería y nos muestra los DPI. En cuanto a las pulsaciones y demás, va muy bien. Como se puede comprobar, va muy bien. El ratón me gusta muchísimo porque es lo que digo, funciona muy bien, es cómodo, es ligero. Con este botón vamos cambiando también la iluminación del LED de lo que está aquí del ratón. Se ilumina las dos franjas y el logo. Y bueno, pues la precisión me ha gustado muchísimo porque es muy preciso y la verdad que va genial. La ruleta, tanto las teclas, todo va perfecto. Y bueno, pues una de las cosas buenas que tiene es que es compatible también con PlayStation 4 y PlayStation 5, aunque yo para esto no lo voy a usar. Aquí vemos los pines de su base, vemos que se queda conectado, si acierto a ponerlo, se queda conectado perfectamente. Y bueno, pues la verdad que es una opción muy a tener en cuenta y que recomiendo totalmente.
Questo mouse KLIM Blazer Pro W è molto carino, lo sto usando da ormai un paio di giorni. Ha effetti RGB regolabili con il tasto, wifi e bluetooth, ricarica magnetica sulla sua base che mostra sia la percentuale che la IDP. Adesso lo aggancio, non so se si vede, connesso, in carica, e ha questa luce pulsante che indica appunto la carica. Anche la base ha diversi effetti RGB regolabili dal tasto. Molto carino, devo dire la verità, lo consiglio.
Manifestée le 8 janvier, elle est morte d'un tir de balle dans la tête. Les autorités iraniennes reconnaissent 3000 victimes depuis le début de la répression. Certaines ONG en recensent plus de 30 000.
La bulle médiatique est infiniment plus intéressée par